Hello, 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 hell. Oh, it's time for the IGP World Cup Group D. It is going to be Germany, Portugal. Let me share the stream real quick. It's going to be IGP World Cup. Today's stream is going to be the IGP World Cup Group D. We've got Germany, Spain, and Portugal. If you wanted to see, let's first look at the teams. For Team Germany, there is Ferdinand Porsche, Otto Krom, Tucker, Dani, Volker Smitty, and Christian Hecker. For Team Spain, we've got Adrian Motia Serrano, Ovi Heidelbergensis, aka Ovi Sapiens, player from Project Lindas, Victor Marina de Val, Ruben Tilve, Eric Draven, and Tomasson Jr. And for the Portuguese team, there is Sergio Moraes, Marcelo Sipi, Luis Rodrigo Lopez, Carlos Oliveira, Marcelo Zappas, and Marcelo de Arduni. Many of these players were actually on the Brazilian team from last time. They're moving over to Portugal this time. Means Portugal is very. I think all three of these teams are dark horse contenders for to win the whole thing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this race goes. How I predict this race to go, I think that I'm going to go with Luis P1 as surprise, Ovi P2, and Ferdinand P3. Now we'll look at the before qualifying. We'll look at the results of some of the other World Cup races. Here in the World Cup A League, Brazil had by far the best race. They had 5 of the top 6 runners. I was P7. Lorian Marquez was the one Brazilian runner who did not have a great race. He got P10, but still okay. Central America did not really have a great result. They got their best was P11. In the World Cup B League, which I streamed yesterday, the UK2 had a very good time. They got 134. Rest of the world, Pavel got P2. A very good result for him. Krzyzek got P5. Frank and Matteo P6 and P7. Lead Italians. Solid race for very good race for UK2. Solid for the rest of the world. Italy, Eastern Europe. Not really. No team really had really had a bad race. So I say Italy was kind of disappointing in that for that race. In World Cups in the World Cup C League, it was Spain versus UK1 versus Switzerland. Well, Spain 2 actually. The Spain one's in this one. Barney, you know that little purple dinosaur thingy jig. He got first place. Chris Stanley and Mahir P2 and P3 for the UK. Frank Nakito and Nino Farina, solid results for Spain. Joe, Cameron, Luke, and Philip for UK. Carlos and Andres Carlos Vasquez and Andres Poito, P10 and 11, and Switzerland had a bad race, 12 and 13. It's gonna be interesting to see who's 1 and who's 2 out of the UK and Spain for that qualifying for that group, considering that that was a close race, it was a close race in terms of points between them, and the points have not come out yet. They're probably gonna be released after this race, I'm assuming. And another race that happened recently was World Cup F that happened earlier today. It's really early for me, so I couldn't stream it. I did not want to wake up that early. It was a really good race for Indonesia, so they got top four. Andy Ascara, Relringan, Duffy, Razi Andriato, and Slodian. As with getting five of the top six was Vessi, LaFerrari, Runes de Bos, Jen, Oscar Fur, and Riven. Riven had a really bad race 2 laps behind. Ringan is Aher, host of the Discord World Championship League. Andy, he's a solid player. But anyways, let's go back to the league that the stream is focusing on today, as qualifying results are out for World Cup D. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. See where everyone qualifies. Oh, I need to switch it to 3D. Give me a second. No, I'm not creating the league right now. There we go. Very good. It's an interesting split between Super Sauce and Sauce. His top 9 are in Super Sauce. So it's literally 50-50. Germany is on pole of Tucker, followed by Thomas Son for Spain. Ferdinand Porsche for Germany in third. Otto Krom for Germany in fourth. Eric Draven for Spain, fifth. Adrian Motilla for Spain, sixth. Victor Marina del Val for Spain, P7. Ruben Tilve for Spain, P8. And Ovi Sapiens for Spain, P9. Carlos Oliveira for Portugal, P10. Then Sergio Morelos for Portugal, Marcelo Diarduni, Marcelo Prado, P13 for Portugal, Zapas, P14 for Portugal, Volker Smitty for Germany, P15, Dani for Germany, P16, Frederico Lopez for Portugal, P17, and Christian Hecker for Germany, P18. Looking at my prediction after qualifying, it's interesting to see that the there's this kind of similar split in the Group A race. I think it was 11 on Supers and 7 on Sauce that time though. Germany decided to do a 50-50 split onto Sauce. The race at Spain here in the Group A ended up working well for the Super Soft runners, as Super Softs had the entire top 10 on lock. Meaning, with a very good race for Brazil. Fortunately, it looks like everyone's got their liveries sorted, so it's good for me. Looks like I think Spain's struggles in qualifying are going to hurt on this race. I feel like what their goal for each team is, and I think they're gonna need a good lap one. Goal for each team. Germany you gotta hold pole. Definitely do that. Ferdinand can get up into P2. That would be very nice because then they can control the race. And then the guys on the softs, they have a bad qual. They had a bad qualifying, so as of now they need to hold boost. For Spain, Thomas Son needs to get into try to stay into the DRS of Tucker, not let Ferdinand get past him on either lap 1 or lap 3. The lap 1 can't be down to luck. And the rest of them, they're just gonna, I'd say, just hold boost, save boost. And for Portugal, what they need to do is they need to stick around, hold on to the super soft runners. Wait until their tires overheat. Wait until there's a chance that their tires overheat or they have to go on a low push level because it is 30 degrees here in Austin, Texas. And I'd say the guys at the back, like Prado, Diarduni, Zapas, Federico Lopez, they need to try to hold some boost here. There's already some toxicity in the chat, interestingly. I guess Ovi and Luis Federico Lopez have some sort of history. I don't know what, but they have some sort of history. Who is going to win this race? I'm going to go with final prediction. I'm going to go with the German player Ferdinand Porsche to win the race. Second place, I'm going to go with Tucker. Third place, I'm going to go with Marcelo Diarduni for Portugal. I think the softs will work out decently. Looks like they're happy with each other again. Probably shouldn't try to read Spanish and German right now. Got 30 seconds until the race starts. We're going to look on board onto the pole sitter, Tucker's car, right before the race starts. Got 20 seconds. Tucker looks like he's ready. Here's Thomas on his side. On Ferdinand right behind. Now back into TV. Now we're going to head into TV view. Just 8 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's lights out and away we go. Tucker gets off well. It looks like Tucker ends up holding on to P1. Looks like little to no changes, except the softs have a decent start. Thomas Son pressuring Tucker early, looks like, but it ends up being for nothing. And now it looks like Ferdinand's pressuring Thomas Son and being held up by him. Marcelo Arduni has a good start, up into P8 early on the soft top compound tires. Germany was able to hold their 1, 3, 4 of Tucker, Ferdinand, and Otto Krom. Volker also had a good start up into Volker and Donnie also having good starts up into P11 and P13 respectively. Christian Hecker down in last place though is going to be a struggle. Tucker is looking to get up to a 1 second gap before Boost opens up over Thomasson. Thomasson is holding on well, and it is now a 0.6 gap. We're going to go on board with Thomasson heading into lap 3 as he tries to stay within 1 second of the lead car of Tucker. Thomasson is holding on well. He's not really losing much time through the corners, despite the impact of clean air. Charles Arduni has fallen behind the super soft starters again. Thomasson is now 0.63 gap back onto TV view. Looks like Thomasson is going to get DRS. It's going to be interesting now. We're going on board with Ferdinand Porsche. He's 1.37 back. He might have to boost. He's going to have to make a decision. Here he goes. He's using his boost, trying to get to the DRS, and he's able to do so. As we do see Thomasson taking the lead of this race. Autochrome, seems like nobody's getting dropped. Autochrome is able to stay in P4. OV staying in P5. It's up 4 because he started last of the Spaniards. Had a good start. She did. Thomasson is looking like he's trying to get a little bit of a breakaway going. He looks like he's lighter than the Germans who started on super softs. Thomasson is now the gap in 0.93. Tucker is going to have an interesting. Tucker still is able to hold on to the DRS and take this lead of the Grand Prix. Soft guys are holding on well. Marcelo Di Arduni at a 0.9 gap to last place on the supers. Victor Marina de Val, which is good for everyone on this soft train. Tucker is continuing to try to get a breakaway here. It's a race where clean air and DRS are both important. It's very interesting to watch. Thomasson at 0.94 now. Thomasson is able to get the DRS though. What the fuck? No. Ignore that. Then Tucker's still holding on to Thomasson this time. If Germany can gain a 1-2, that would be very good for their race. As we do have the Sauce also breaking off of the train. Donnie is now 1.77 away. Arduni is struggling to keep up with Donnie. As we do have Germany gaining a 1-2-3 with Tucker, Ferdinand, and Autochrome. Very good news for Germany and bad news for Spain. Here we go. Tucker's going to build a little bit of gap, making sure that Spain does not get into this. But he's probably going to try to slow down a little bit so Ferdinand can stick around. Not want to make this too difficult. Does not want to make this too difficult for his own teammate. Tucker does. Ferdinand. Ferdinand up into P1 now. He's German top three is working well. And look at that. They have top two in the sauce as well with Volker Smitty now. Well, no, oh wait, Carlos is there. Never mind. They do have 2-3 on the sauce. Christian Hecker still in last place, though. And now that the trains are separated, this is going to be good news for the super sauce. We will have some pitting soon, I think. Tucker can hold on pretty well. He has a fast car today. Ovi Sapiens chasing down Otto Krom. He's got past his teammate Thomas Son. Now he's getting into this battle. He's trying. Oh, and Ovi Sapiens is able to pass Otto Krom. Getting into there. Gonna go on board with Ovi for the slap. And Ovi heads into the pits. Ovi was light, which is why she was fast. That stunt. Ovi's first in the pits. She's going to head into P18. See how far away she is. She's in no woman's land, I guess. They do have Ferdinand. He's going to have to try to keep up with Tucker. Tucker is slowing down, I assume. And they all three get the DRS, but Draven misses. Germany is now in a land of their own. This is very good news for the Germans. Yeah, we did not go on board because Ovi did. So you now have the Spaniards are a little bit heavier. They're going to lap 10. Well, all of them besides Ovi are going to lap 10. Do have Ferdinand coming out. All three of them ahead of Ovi Sapiens. I'm gonna go on board with Ovi, see how she can get back into this DRS train. Oh yeah, there's this cool onboard feature on 3D, on IGP 3D. It's pretty cool. I like it. Is Tucker gonna be able to get DRS? Yes, he will. Ovi is also able to get DRS. We're gonna go back in the TV view, see how the overcut works for the Spaniards. We do have 5 guys heading into the pits. Thomasson, Ruben Tilve, Victor Marina, Eric Draven. Now we do have Carlos Oliveira entering the lead. Thomasson. Now into P15. Looks like they're in a position to where they can still stay in the train. Is Adrian Motia going to stay in the train? Yes, he will. It was a .99 gap, but it was enough. Gonna go on board with Marcelo Di Arduni. She's .93 away from Volker Smitty. Might have to boost for this DRS. It was really interesting to see are the guys on the soft train, the Portuguese guys, are they on a 4 or a 3-stop strategy? And we will see by the time they pit. And we will see an assumed strategy by the time they pit. Marcelo is able to keep up. He's using a little bit of boost though. Solo is able to take this lead at the Grand Prix. Germany's not that far, but Tucker's not that far behind. Only 5.1 gap. We do have some of the Spanish guys. 3 of them, Ruben Tileve, Victor Marina del Val, and Eric Draven, they have fell off the train. Not good news for the Spanish team. Looks like they're kind of struggling right now, Team Spain. But we'll see. Things can change. Federico Lopez, he's able to stay in the train. Wilker Smitty now taking the lead of this race for the German team. Ovi is looking slow right now. So we do have all 9 of them heading into the pits. It looks like it's going to be a 4-stop strategy for the soft runners for this race. Do have Volker Smitty going on the mediums. The rest of them, Donny, Christian Hecker, and Zappos also on mediums. Could be 3-stop for them. The rest of them are on softs. Volker Smitty comes out in an interesting spot. He's in the gap between the 2 trains. Which means Eric Draven is going to overtake him pretty much immediately. Start. We are going to go on board this lap of Thomas Son for Team Spain. Germany still has control of this DRS train. Full control as they have top 3. Pretty much what you need. Thomas Son at 0.73, holding on. Looks like he's going to get some DRS without needing to use boost. Oh wait, it's a 1.2. He's going to have to use some boost. And he does. He gets enough for the DRS, but Ruben Tilves misses the DRS. Continued struggle for Team Spain. And it is going very well for Team Germany. Still having a top 3. Walker Smitty holding on well on the medium compound tires. Donnie and Christian are not in the best spots, but we'll see how they go. They end. Is Volker, will he be able to hold on? Yes, sir, he will. Going to P11. Do you have Ferdinand Porsche? He's at 0.77 right now. Looks like Germany's playing the team game perfectly. Nothing really to see here. Priscilla Diarduni is dropped from the train. We're going to go on board with Volker Smitty for this lap. See how he decides to play this race. I forgot that the map view existed. He's going to try to catch Ruben Tilve. So up in P9, you can see him off in the distance. Volker is currently the leader of players that have started on softs. Looks like he's going to take the conservative strategy and not boost, which I would think is the best option for his race. So does get double overtaked by Marcelo Diardini and Luis Federico Lopez. Now we head back. Got Thomas Son over a second again. He's struggling to keep up. We go on board with him. See if he can use the boost in a smart enough manner to stay in the stream. Oh, and he misses it. I don't know if he even tried. It's hard to tell when people are boosting on 3D. Gonna head into the new chase cam view, see what Ovi's plan is to catch Autochrome. As we do have Adrian Matias Serrano making a move up into P2. Interesting play by him. Well, it might not have been a play. It might have just been that they were too close, that the Germans got too close. One of them had a bad lap. It just led to Adrian Matias Serrano in a good spot. Here comes Ovi with some boosting. 1.22 now. Might need to use a little bit more. Ovi does catch the train, and now we have a Spaniard in the lead of Adrian Matias Serrano. This is getting much better for Team Spain. Thomason is now out of there. 2.64 back. And we do have the three Germans heading into the pits of Ferdinand, Tucker, and Otto Krom. Ferdinand heads on to another set of sauce. All three of them do, actually. And they have connected onto the back of the second train. Very good news for their race. I mean, the pit stop is actually kind of short. The pit lane is actually kind of short here, if you noticed. No, I did not remember that. Do have Adrian Motia. See, Ovi does head into the pits. See what her plan is. Now, head on to a set of soft compound tires. Heading into the back of this train. Though she is in a spot where she will get DRS. Interesting. The person I want to see where they come out when they pit is Adrian Matias Serrano, currently in the lead of this Grand Prix. So 5-second lead. And he stays out another lap. Do see that Ferdinand, Tucker, and Otto Krom are keeping up with these guys just pretty easily. Just good news for their races. Soft starters are not breaking away on much less fuel. They are just sticking around. We're going to see, I think pretty soon we're going to see Adrian Matias Serrano head into the pits. As we do this lap, Adrian Matias Serrano on to another set of the soft compound tires. Adrian Matias Serrano is ahead of everyone else that have stopped twice. Good, very good news for Team Spain. And is in the train. He's a little bit heavy, so he might have a little bit more trouble keeping up than someone like Ferdinand, as we do have Zappos getting an overtake on him already. Is Ferdinand going to be next? This is interesting to see how the medium compound tires are working. Volker Smitty is making his way up. He's currently in P4, and he's looking like he might get an overtake here on Carlos Oliveira. We're going to go on board with him, see if he can get a little bit of an overtake. Right on the back of him. Looks like he's going to be unable to do so. Unable to get an overtake. As we head back into TV view. Eric Draven does not have enough to get into to stay in the DRS train. Which is bad news, especially for guys like Ovi Sapiens, who actually, she's a, oh, fuck. It's a, did I just misgendered Ovi. God damn it. Anyways, Ovi is in P14. Ovi will have to boost to stay in this DRS. Though Eric is playing the sacrificial lamb, deciding to play that role, as Eric is not really going to win this race. Ovi's going to have to boost they're both going to have to boost a little bit. Oh, Thomas Son misses the DRS this time. Volker Smitty is able to get an overtake on Luis Federico Lopez, getting into the rotation right before he pits. Looks like these guys are all going to be force stopping, interestingly. We do have Ferdinand Porsche right on the back of Adrian Motia Serrano. It's literally pushing Serrano along the track. Waiting for the DRS, 0.27 back. Might be a triple overtake. And it will be a triple overtake for Team Germany. They have a 1-2-3 once again. Very good news for Team Germany. Seems like Adrian Martia Serrano is the only one with a chance in Team Spain to beat any of these Germans right now. These three. Looking at boosts for the soft starters. All still have pretty good boosts left, so they could be. Oh wait, they're force stopping. It's probably going to be a 1-2-3 for Germany then. Tucker and Otto. Tucker is continuing. Ovi is continuing to attempt to. Ovi and Thomas Son are attempting to stay in this train. They're having some tough time doing so, though. Not really looking too great for Team Spain. The Portuguese all starting on sauce. It's not really looking too great for them either. So the lead team right now is Team Germany. First, second, and third in this race. And beautiful drop by Otto Krom. Dropping Adrian Motia Serrano. Now they're in a train all by themselves. Great job by the Germans. Trying to secure a 1-2-3 in this race. Tucker cannot keep up. Adrian Motia can keep up. Tucker and Otto Krom. P1 and P2. Solo di Arduni is still struggling. Is still in P9. The soft runners are still struggling. Soft starters, not the soft runners. It's pretty much a lot of players are on softs right now. Autochrome is continuing to just stick around. Looks like Spaniards besides Adrian Matias Serrano have given up on the dream of sticking with the Germans. Ovi and Thomasson are now on a train by themselves. Eric Draven is out of boost, which is bad news for Team Spain. They're Marina Deval, as we do have Team Germany heading into the pits. All on to another set of the soft compound tires. And into a land ahead of the players who started on soft. A whole pit stop ahead. Good news for them. Autochrome. Going to see if he could stick around. Chrome does stick onto the DRS of Ruben Tilve for Team Spain. More good news for Team Germany. Do you see what Volker Schmidt, as we go on board with Volker Schmidt, seeing what he decides to do in this scenario? Currently in P9 of this race. Volker is in P. He's looking like he's going to stick to this DRS. So the soft train is in. So the soft group is now in the same train as the guys who are pit stop ahead of them, at least. It will be interesting once again to see where Adrian Matias Serrano comes out. Though I think he will pit. He has a feel out before he pits. Tucker is sticking on well to Ruben Tilve. And he will overtake Ruben Tilve, and as will Autochrome. Volker is now in P9. Germany will try to work to help Volker get away from other soft runners. Ovi is heading into the pits. Will Ovi be in this train? Ovi is in this train, but he's at the back of it in P17. Only ahead of Zappas, and now behind Zappas as Zappas gets an overtake. Will Ruben Tilve be able to stick around? Yes, he will. Like Germany has perfected their racing style. Adrian Martina does stay out another lap. Who will it be? Will it be Tucker or will it be Autochrome? Tucker stick around? Yes, he will. In this race, Team Germany is looking very good. And Christian Hecker will have to use some work to get up into this train. Oh, duty. Victor Mar. Oh yeah, I do want to see where Adrian Motia comes out. Coming out in the perfect spot for Christian Hecker. MP6. Means Christian Hecker will use him force to get the DRS. And is now a Germany top 4 with Portugal P5, Spain P6. Otto Krom is currently in the lead, followed by Tucker. Need to look at the tires. Germany might be, the top 3 Germans might be 5-stopping, to be honest. I think it's a 5-stop. How did I not notice? Never mind, these 4-stoppers are still in this one. But it looks like, I'd say, its top 3 are in the best position, though. Tucker and Ferdinand now at the top 2. Marcelo Di Arduni now in P4 after Volker Smitty heads into the pits. Is now in a land of his own. All 3 of the Germans have headed into the pits. Adrian Mattia is actually in a very good position, I just noticed, as Germany looks like they're 5-stopping. Adrian Mattia Serrano, P5, looks in a worthwhile position. Once I noticed that this race has got a lot more interesting once I noticed the Germans are 5-stopping. Marcelo Di Arduni is in a very good spot. You have Portugal top 2 of this 4-stopper train. Though there are some Spaniards that are still 4-stopping ahead. We are going to go on board this lap with Marcelo Di Arduni. He's not really gone on board with the Portuguese too much this race. Marcelo is 0.75 gap now. Portuguese with their 1 lap overcut have got themselves in a pretty advantageous spot. Over the Germans, who are also 4-stopping and started on softs. So Di Arduni, let's make a good overtake there, up into P8. Do have the top 3 heading into the pits now. See what Otto Krom decides to do. They are in a very good advantage, and they're in a good spot there. They're in a spot ahead of Eric Draven. They're in a spot ahead of all the soft starters. Now they get to chase down the top 3. Going to see how this works out for Tucker, Otto Krom, and Ferdinand Porsche. Luis Federico Lopez in P8 currently. Looks like these two Spaniards are on the struggle bus. Looks like Ruben Tilve and Victor Marina Deval. They're on the struggle bus. They're not gonna really do much more for this race. For D, seems like gap is staying relatively stable between Otto and Ovi. At around 3.7 seconds. As we do head in, we're going to go back into TV view for here. Looks like the soft earners are still don't really have the pace. They just don't. Up in the distance, we do see we're going to go into chase view because off in the distance from the Germans, you do see the Spaniards on some corners, so they know so they can see what they have to chase at least. The players can see anything, but because of the way IGP works. So you do have Eric driving. He's going to almost overtakes Ferdinand. Ferdinand, I think, uses a little bit of boost to make sure he stays ahead of Eric. Ferdinand does not want this plan to be messed up. Understandably. Gap is still staying relatively stable. Both gaps, actually, are staying relatively stable. Tucker versus Otto. And I wanted to read the chat to see some interesting stuff, but it's all in a language I don't understand. Great. So you do have Spain extending, and as I say that, Germany gains 3/10. Just Gap is not able to, it's just Gap is very slowly decreasing between Germans and the Spaniards. And that puts Adrian Matias Serrano in a pretty advantageous position. Ovi does head into the pits. We're gonna see where she comes out. This is the first person coming in for their last pit stop of this Grand Prix. Coming out in P16, away from all the soft earners, all the soft starters, I mean. So you got Victor Marina Deval trying to gain her DRS. This gap is now 4.828 seconds. Gap has increased Ovi into the pits as she was behind Thomas Son at that moment, and gap is all of a sudden head back to 3.69. For Adrian Mattia and Thomas Son, they're staying out for this lap. Any of the soft runners pit? Nope. Soft starters, not soft runners. God, Ethan. Ferdinand, will he be able to stay at the gap? It's a 1.00 gap. He's gonna have to boost, and he does stay, and he does get it. That was an important DRS to get. Thomas, as they are chasing down Thomas Son, gap is now under 3 seconds. Looks like Thomas Son and Adrian Mattia are about to pit. Thomas Son and Adrian Mattia both head into the pits. Eric Draven heads into the pits. Adrian Mattia Serrano. But here he comes out in the middle of the soft train, P10. Going to be in that's a pretty advantageous position. Ovi wants to get up to where Thomas Son is, obviously, to try to. It's going to be interesting is how long are the Germans staying out for? Tucker, Ferdinand, and Otto Krom. Because I think they have another pit stop in them. We do have the 3 Germans who have started on the soft tires. They're heading into the pits to stop. Christian Hecker, Donny, and Wilker Smitty, which means they're probably going to lose to a few Portuguese players, which is okay. They are all in no man's land, pretty much. Ferdinand Porsche does retake the lead. Adrian Matias Serrano is sticking on to the Portuguese players very well. Has around half of his boost left, it looks like. Will he be able to stick into the lead? Here we go. The top 3 head into the pits, as do the Portuguese players. It's going to be a very important pit stop for Ferdinand Porsche, who is leading them out. It's not. If he continues to lead them out, he is in the DRS of Ovi Sapiens and Thomas Son. Now, as he passes Ovi there, Ferdinand it's an 8.6 gap. They're going to need to gain a lot of time to catch Adrian Mattia Serrano. Will it be a win for the Spanish? Will it be a win for the Germans? I will not. I don't think it's going to be a win for the Portuguese. They're not in a good position. Sorry for everyone from Portugal. Though some of them will have a decent, will finish in a decent spot. Ferdinand is going to be hunting down Adrian Matias Serrano. What Ovi and Thomas Son need to do is they need to try to get him to. They need to either hold him up or make him waste boost. Ferdinand was trying to get Ovi out of there. Did not work. Trying to drop Ovi. The gap is continuing to go down. I think Ovi needs to try to drop Ferdinand now. I think that's the play. As Ovi does listen to me, but it does not work. As Ferdinand is able to catch the DRS, and the gap is now 6.86. Adrian Matias Araños has around half of his boost left. Do have the Portuguese. They're going to try to get into this train. Frederico Lopez. What can Ferdinand Porsche do? It's with the gap at 7 seconds. Around 6 laps to go. A boost advantage. Ovi does retake the lead of this train. Gap is at 6.62. Ovi just now needs to try to. Ovi's looking like she wants to play. Is she going to try to play a roadblock role here for Adrian Matias Araño? Luis Frederico Lopez is now joining the train. He's in P7. And the gap does go up to 7 seconds once again. Ovi is playing her job very well. This looks like it might be over for her though, as top 3 are all able to get past. Ovi will not be able to bother people. Will not be able to bother the Germans right now, and without some interesting boost usage. We'll see what happens. Thomas Son is making a play now. Goes up into P3. Tucker and Ferdinand are not having it. Ferdinand is using some boost. Goes right onto Tucker. Otto Krom is able to pass him. Otto Krom passes Ferdinand as well. Interesting boost usage, to say the least. This gap is now at 4.61. Still have the boost advantage, but the boost advantage is not as large. The German currently lead the lead of the boot in terms of boost of the Germans is with Tucker. Adrian Matias Araño is having great pace in clean air right now to try to hold on to first place. See how will Tucker play? Tucker, Ferdinand, and Otto Krom. I think Thomasson and Ovi don't have the boost to play a role of bothering the Germans enough to try to. Thomasson is making an attempt though. Here he goes. He's boosting past a few of the Germans, making the Germans have to waste a little bit of boost to get right back around him. Thomasson is playing a great role, trying to hurt the Germans' races enough to where Adrian Matias Araño can win this race. Otto Krom is over a second. That means he's going to have to boost a little bit. Will Otto Krom get it? Yes, he will. Means there won't be that much time gained through DRS, though. It is lap 59 of this race. It is a 3.77 gap. Gonna see how Otto Krom does. I think Adrian Matias Araño might have it. He might have it. Here we go. It is now the final lap of this race. Otto Krom is 3.8 seconds behind. Here comes the boost. The Germans boosting in unison. Trying to catch Adrian Matias Araño. Adrian is boosting as well, trying to keep these Germans out of his DRS. As he does his job well, looks like he's going to win this race. Ferdinand does get the DRS, though. It looks like Adrian might just hold on. Here he comes. Adrian is going to have to boost. Here we go. Ferdinand has a little bit left. Adrian Matias Serrano does look like he is going to be able to hold on to this win just barely. Ferdinand P2, Tucker P3, Otto Krom P4, Marcelo Di Arduni P5, Luis Federico Lopez P6, Christian Hecker P7, Zappas P8, Prado P9, and Carlos P10. P11 for Volker Smitty, P12 for Sergio Moreos, P13 for Donnie, P14 for Thomasson, P15 for Ovi, P16 for Eric, P17 for Victor, P18 for Ruben. So here we go. Spain wins with Adrian Matias Serrano. Germany wins second with Ferdinand. Germany third with Tucker. Germany fourth with Otto. Portugal fifth with Marcelo. Portugal sixth with Federico. Germany 7 with Christian. Portugal 8 with Sopas. Portugal 9 with Prado. Portugal 10 with Carlos. Germany 11 with Volker. Portugal 12 with Sergio Moreos is the point scorers of this race. With only one Spaniard is in the points for this race, and that Spaniard ended up winning the race. Adrian Matias Serrano. What a finish to that race. Germany trying to hunt down Adrian Matias Serrano, but he just barely had the pace to hold on with his clean air. I think Germany will be leading the team standings with a 2, 3, 4, and 7. Sure. I don't know if Spain or Portugal will be P2. So we do have Adrian P1, Ferdinand P2 for Spain, Ferdinand P2 for Germany, Tucker P3 for Germany, Otto Krom P4 for Germany, Marcelo P5 for Portugal, Federico P6 for Portugal, Christian P7 for Germany, Marcelo P8 for Portugal, Marcelo Prado P9 for Portugal, Carlos P10 for Portugal, Volker P11 for Germany, and Sergio P10, P12 for Portugal. That is the points, as it is an 18-player league. Now let's look into League E for the. Is that race finished? We'll see. That race has finished, also in the United States. Looks like a good race for France. Is Orlando a French player? No, Orlando is a Portuguese player. Portuguese 2. Pierre P1 for France. Hurricane Race, who's that? Is Levante Koskis for Hungary, P2. Orlando for Portugal 2, P3. Gentleman for Germany 2, P4. Julian Azo for France, P5. Jeremy Lastre for France, P6. Germany 2, Robert Dinky, P7. Jules Box for France, P8. Aure Zabat for France, P9. Crazy Base for Germany 2, P10. Jerome for France, P11. Patrick Fuchs for Germany 2, P12. Filza for Germany, P13. For Germany 2, P13. For Pedro Ferreira for Portugal, P14. And Arrows Yamaha for Hungary, P15. That's the points for that race. That